How are you doing this morning, afternoon, evening, night? Whatever time of day it currently is for you on this planet, how are you? I myself am doing pretty good, and let us discover who the universe has chosen for today's opponent. Dust Sands. Standard procedure, E4. My favorites. A few things that I wanted to get off of my chest. Um, First thing is, this is my first time in a while where I made two videos in a row. So 2 days in a row where I make a video. Uh, these days I've been pretty busy. Don't really have the time and energy to make a video every day, which is eventually my goal, as I stated in my last video. So if you haven't seen that last video, go check that out. But yeah, um, I just had the motivation to do that today, to make a video. So here we are making. Anyways, that doesn't matter. I did have a few things that I wanted to that was on my mind. I'm just looking at the situation that I'm in right now. I will eventually spit my words out, but I really hate losing, especially when I make a video. I hate losing a chess game, especially on a video. And lately, like every time I make a video, I play the greatest 700s of all time. But when I am not making a video, like people will throw their queens out into the battlefield and get sniped. Which was a fancy way of saying, or an extra way of saying, whenever I am not making a video and playing chess, people love to blunder everything. And when I am making a video, they're just instantly the greatest player of all time. So, anyways, that's besides the point. The first thing that I wanted to get off my mind, that I wanted to discuss, was it's kind of like a philosophy kind of discussion. I don't know who likes philosophy. I took philosophy of intro to philosophy in college, and whew, let me just say that teacher had a lot to say. That teacher had a lot to say, right? That's one thing I remember. But it's the discussion of how people view the world, right? And what I mean by that, the have you ever seen that image of like the left brain versus right brain side? I forget which side is which, but basically like the left side is like creativity and the artistic side of your brain or whatever, and the right side, I forget which sides are which, but the other is like the analytical, more number forward thinking, right? And I've always found that interesting because personally, I I would say like I'm 60-40, right? 40% analytical brained and 40% analytical brain and 60% like artistic, creativity sided minded, right? That rhymed, by the way. Okay, what do I do here? I don't know. Maybe I go here, put my rook on the open file, but yeah. So I've always kind of viewed the world like in an artistic mind frame, right? And my opponent just blundered their rook, I believe. So we're gonna take that. So like I look at trees and like just everything in nature. I look at everything in nature and I see art. Like I see colors. I notice colors more. Like I understand colors more. Or like or the sky or something like I'll associate the sky with a painting. or something, and if you are similar to me, you will know what I'm talking about. But if you're more of like the analytical person, the numbers person, you'll be like, what do you mean? And I still think, it makes sense. Like, color is all around us. More people are going to feel different or notice things about that more than others. And like a good example of the other side, right? Some people will just okay, say like me and another person who is more analytical thinking, we're both walking, we'll look at buildings and other things differently. Like they'll look at a building and think of money. They'll think about the land and everything, the workers in the building and all that stuff, while I'm looking at the design and color. Not saying that person won't notice those things, but you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm trying to get at? Anyways, what was I saying? Right, so yeah, so even though I do have an analytical mind like when I need to, but math was not my thing, even though I could, if I really tried to do math, I could do it, right? It's just, do I want to? No. Who wants to? You know what I mean? But there are people who really love math. And a good example at this is when I was with my dad at the airport. We were at a restaurant in the airport, and he looked at a box of napkins and was like, son, that box of napkins cost the restaurant money, and all of this other thing about circulation in the economy and things like that. Fun fact. He was an economics major, and I too was an economics major. Which is very interesting. But yeah, you know what I mean? I think it's a fairly simple concept, but if you don't understand and you're like, what the heck is this dude talking about? What is this dude talking about? He's rambling, stuttering, all that stuff. I understand. Yes. Sometimes that's just me, right? That's just me. Anyways, we are winning this game, so that's a good thing. They're probably going to take this pawn, and then I'm going to take this pawn, and this game should be pretty straightforward, I believe. Just push the pawn down the field and win the game. Now the only thing that we have to worry about is this pawn right here. Once we get that pawn off of the board, this will become much easier. Much easier. Okay, that's interesting. They're going to let us take the bishop, and now I'm just going to sacrifice my rook. I don't know if my opponent didn't think I was going to sacrifice my rook, but I'll take it. I'll take the win no matter what. Okay, go ahead and sacrifice, push the pawn, queen, and win the game. That's nice. I don't remember the last time I won a game on a video. It's been a couple videos. Last game I drew, that would be a stalemate. Let's make sure not to stalemate here. That would be devastating. Here, and that is checkmate. Well, we get the game done. Win. I'm always happy to win. So there's a positive. And basically everything that I was rambling about at the end of it, my main point is, it's just interesting how each individual views the world differently. Isn't that interesting? And that's the way that is the way we make the world a better place. You know, bring all of these different kinds of people together. Boom. Explosion. You know what I mean? Anyways, enough of that conversation. The two other things that I wanted to, or the last thing that I wanted to talk about, just to give a heads up, my next two videos will be story times on the first time I indulged in magic fungi. I will not be going into go any further into what the magic fungi is. If you know, you know. Think hard about it. The magic fungi. Let me give a hint about what the magic fungi is. People usually put the word magic in front of it. Anyways, so yeah, video after this will be my first time indulging in magic, or what did I call it again? Magic fungi. Magic fungi. And the video after that will be my second time I've ever indulged in the magic fungi. So if you are interested in that kind of thing, you know, subscribe to eventually watch those videos when they're up. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today. I hope you have found peace in your day. If you have not already found peace in your day, I hope you eventually find peace in your day. And I'll see you in the next one. Toodles.